Let's be honest, cloud apps are absolutely essential for business today. But they also create these massive security blind spots. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how Cisco Umbrella's Cloud Access Security Broker, we'll just call it CASB, gives you the power to see, control, and protect your data no matter where it goes. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with the huge challenge of shadow IT, then we'll dive into how Umbrella's CASB gives you visibility, enforcement, and protection, and to wrap it all up, we'll see how it all works in the real world by taking a look at securing Microsoft 365. All right, let's start at the beginning. We need to understand the core challenge here, all those hidden risks that sneak in with the convenience of the cloud. This question really gets to the heart of the problem for modern IT. On one hand, you've got these incredible tools that just supercharge productivity and collaboration. But on the other hand, every single new app that your users adopt without IT's knowledge, well, that introduces a potential security hole. It's that classic trade-off, isn't it? Speed versus risk. And wow, this slide really puts the scale of the problem into perspective. I mean, look at that. You can see dozens of unsanctioned apps just connecting to the corporate network. And that number, it can easily stretch into the hundreds or, believe it or not, even thousands. Your employees, they're just trying to get their jobs done. But in the process, they're creating this huge invisible network of risk. That, right there, is shadow IT. And not having this visibility, it has some serious, real-world consequences. You can't protect what you can't see. Simple as that. Which means your sensitive data can just walk right out the door, you can get hit with compliance violations like GDPR, and your security policies, they become pretty much impossible to enforce consistently. Oh, and on top of all that, you're probably paying for apps you don't even know about. So the big question is, how do you fix this? Well, this is exactly where a Cloud Access Security Broker, or CASB, steps in. It's designed to shine a bright light right into that darkness. Okay, so let's break that down into simple terms. Think of a CASB as a security checkpoint, like a gatekeeper that sits between your users and all your cloud applications. And it doesn't matter where that user is, in the office, at home, at a coffee shop, the CASB intercepts that traffic to inspect it and make sure your security rules are being followed. So, there are basically two main ways a CASB can work, and you can see them right here. On the left, you've got the out-of-band or API model. This connects directly to your approved apps, like Microsoft 365, to scan data that's already sitting there. Then, on the right, you have the inline or proxy model. This one acts as a real-time checkpoint for all traffic, which lets you control access to any app, approved or not. Now, this is where Umbrella gets really smart. Its strength is in its hybrid approach. It uses that powerful API-based tech from Cisco's CloudLock acquisition for a really deep inspection of your main apps, and it combines that with its own super robust inline proxy features for real-time visibility and control over all that shadow IT. You really get the best of both worlds. All right, let's dig into the first, and I'd argue the most critical function of a CASB, just getting total visibility. You gotta see what's out there. It all boils down to these three fundamental challenges that app discovery is built to solve. It's a pretty logical progression, right? First, you just need to see everything. Second, you need context. Is this app actually risky? And third, you need the power to do something about it. Okay, check this out. This is the app discovery dashboard, and it gives you that immediate, comprehensive view. And this isn't just some long list of domains. No, it's a categorized report that shows you the application, the vendor, and, this is crucial, a weighted risk score. This lets you immediately triage and focus on the apps that pose the biggest threat, like those anonymizers up there at the top with a very high risk rating. Yikes. And the key thing here is this visibility isn't just for a pretty report. It's actionable intelligence. Now you can have informed conversations with business leaders, you can build a smart cloud strategy, and you can confidently block the apps that just don't meet your security standards. Okay, so you can see everything now. What's next? Well, the next logical step is enforcement. Let's take a look at how Umbrella lets you apply some really precise control. First up, let's talk about controlling specific activities inside an application you've already approved. See, just because you allow an app doesn't mean you have to allow every single thing it can do. And here's a perfect example of what I mean by granular control. As you can see right here in this policy window for Dropbox, you're not stuck with a simple on or off, block or allow. You can create a much more nuanced policy. Maybe you allow general access for most people, but you specifically block uploads for a group that deals with sensitive data. This way, your employees can still collaborate, but you're drastically reducing the risk of data leaking out. Now, let's level up and talk about something even more sophisticated. And frankly, it's absolutely essential for stopping a very common way that data gets exfiltrated: employees moving files from a corporate account to a personal one. This slide shows the classic scenario, right? Your company uses Microsoft 365, and you want your employees to be productive. Of course you do. But what you don't want is for them to log into their personal OneDrive on a company laptop and just upload sensitive files. Tenant controls let you specify which tenants, in this example, your corporate Cisco.com instance, are allowed, while blocking access to all the others. It's that simple. So what's the bottom line here? It's incredibly clear. The challenge is, you just can't block an entire application like Microsoft 365. That would kill productivity. The solution is to use tenant controls to define which instances are okay. And the benefit? It's huge. You close a major security loophole for data loss, while still letting your users get their jobs done with the tools they need. Okay, so we've got visibility and we've got enforcement. Now we can focus on the next layer: actually protecting the data itself, both while it's moving across the network and when it's just sitting in the cloud. So take a look at this diagram. It shows you exactly how this works. User traffic gets routed through the umbrella cloud, and in there, a secure web gateway, or SWG, acts as this intelligent checkpoint. It can even decrypt secure web traffic, which is critical, by the way. This allows the data loss prevention engine to look inside the files for sensitive data before it has a chance to leave your network. So what does all that get you? Well, it means you get a comprehensive solution that's actually easy to deploy. It's not just about blocking stuff, it's intelligent real-time inspection. And with over 80 pre-built data dictionaries, you can immediately start protecting against leaks of things like credit card numbers or patient health information, all with the detailed reports you need to prove you're compliant. And it's not just about protecting data while it's on the move. Umbrella also protects your data at rest. Using those API capabilities we talked about, it can scan your cloud storage like OneDrive or Box for malware that might have been uploaded from a personal device or an already compromised machine. It finds those threats and quarantines them before they can spread. All right, theory is great, but let's pull all these concepts together and see how they work in the real world. How do all these features solve the common problems we see with a critical business suite like Microsoft 365? You know, I'm sure a lot of you have felt this pain. Those legacy on-prem security boxes, they often act as a total bottleneck for cloud traffic. It leads to broken connections and really frustrated users. And trying to manually keep up with Microsoft's constantly changing infrastructure, it's a losing battle, and it just leads to inconsistent security. This is exactly what Umbrella was designed to fix. Because it's a cloud-native security service, it's built to work with the cloud, not fight against it. It can secure access no matter where the user is or what device they're on, giving you a consistent layer of protection for everything, managed and unmanaged devices alike. And get this is the part that might surprise you. This isn't a trade-off between security and speed. Because Umbrella is cloud native, it can actually improve the user experience. I mean, just look at these numbers. We're talking up to a 90% reduction in DNS resolution time and up to an 85% reduction in download times. That is an absolute game changer for user productivity. And that really brings us to a crucial point for the modern era. Effective security has to be fast and transparent. If your security tools are slowing down the apps your business relies on, users will just find ways around them, which ironically creates even more risk. A huge benefit of Umbrella's architecture is that it actually enables the business by providing security that makes things better, not worse. So as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this thought. Implementing a solution like this isn't just about adding another tool to your stack. It's about fundamentally changing your security posture from being reactive to being proactive. Once you finally have this level of visibility and control, it frees up your team to focus on what's next, to focus on the next evolution of threats in our cloud-first world.